Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's webinar about electronic music elements. My name is Kai. I'm General Manager at Music EDnet. We're also joined by Warwick from Music EDnet. And we're super excited to be hosting this webinar and actually launching elements for Australian and New Zealand schools. It's a truly fantastic program. As you'll see tonight, the quality and presentation of the site and the resources for teachers and students is outstanding. And no doubt, it's sure to become an invaluable addition for any music teacher using Soundtrap in their music programs. As you've seen tonight on the screen there, if you have access to Soundtrap for Education, open it on a tab in your browser so you can use it tonight. It's going to be very interactive. And if you don't, there's obviously the option there to use that temporary access. And please stick around to the very end. We've got some exciting prize giveaways, including a 12-month site license for Elements. And a couple of great prizes from tonight's event sponsor, IK Multimedia. Thank you to IK Multimedia. Of course, everyone who attends tonight will get a free month trial for Elements, and the details for how to access the trial will be provided at the end of the webinar. So I'd like to introduce Bob and Eric, who have been our warm-up comedy duo tonight in the pre-show. They are the creators of Elements. Bob is the co-founder and director of Shed the Music, and Eric is founder of Mix Major and also known as DJ Enferno, which we've seen in fine style tonight. A special mention if you haven't caught up with the fact that Bob and Eric are actually presenting from the States, and it's particularly early in the morning. So a big shout out for the effort involved to get up and put on this webinar. Very much appreciated, lads. So I'll hand back to Bob and Eric, and I hope everyone really enjoys learning about elements.
Good morning, everyone. It is 3:33 a.m. here in rainy suburban Chicago. My name is Bob Habersat. I'm a high school, so grade 9 through 12 music teacher in suburban Chicago, Illinois. And I teach music technology classes, guitar classes, but I'm also the co-founder of ShedTheMusic.com, which is a curriculum hosting service that tries to serve the other 80% of students, the students that aren't in band, choir, or orchestra programs. If you just came in, we are asking that you sign in with your Soundtrap account, Soundtrap EDU. I see that there's a couple people that just came in. So if you have Soundtrap EDU, make sure that is signed in. And I'm going to pass it over to my man, Eric.
All right. Good to meet you guys. And by the way, just a reminder, we got that poll going on. I got 12 of 16 people who have participated. It's awesome. That's like 75%. If we get 100%, that'd be awesome. Help us get to know you. But to get to know me, I'm Eric Jao over here in the States. For about 20 years, I made my living as a DJ, producer, and a musician. And for the last 10 years, I've actually started teaching kids. I've discovered my love for teaching kids and teenagers how to create their own electronic music, like right in this room with my 5-year-old daughter at the time, teaching her how to make a song. And that inspired me while I was doing all the DJ touring around the world. I performed for over 3 million people, 36 countries, including touring the world with Madonna. And what's awesome is I met Bob a few years ago, about 7 years ago, and I saw what he was doing with the Shed. It was just starting at that time, right? The Shed, in terms of, not the Shed, but
we were 3 years in. 3 years in.
Got it. Yeah, and then I was really inspired by that, and at some point I was like, man, I got to work with this guy. So we've been working together for the last couple of years, created a curriculum for you guys, and happy to show you. So, yep. I'm actually going to go ahead and close this poll now. Probably it's a good time, so we can get started. And then, I'm going to end this poll. Thanks to everybody who participated. You guys will see the results here. Just a little bit there.
All right.
Yeah.
Students participate but aren't fully committed to the process. Classroom disruptions, limited funding. Students are paying attention. Oh, you guys have admin support. That's good. Learn technologies that I can right away. All right.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing those results, guys, or those answers. Take it away, Bob.
So if you can, speaking about getting to know each other, if we can, I know this is, if you can turn your cameras on, I'm just going to ask a few yes or no questions, and I'm going to look for like hands up. I might do some like 1 through 5. So if you can turn your cameras on, if you're willing, if you're able, and then it doesn't need to show your face, but I just do need to see your hand. So it could be like at a desk or something. I'm just going to get to know the room a little bit. Hello, 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 beautiful people. Good morning. Not good morning. Good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So who is an ensemble director who primarily teaches a band class or an orchestra class or a choir class? Okay. Who is a general music teacher teaching general music during the day? Okay, so primarily all general music teachers. Lindsay, general music teacher? No. Okay. And then who currently teaches music production right now? Okay, we got a couple. Who's using Soundtrap? Everyone's using Soundtrap. Nice, nice. And then what's the oldest grade level you teach? If you can somehow show me with your fingers. I don't know, that might be really difficult. Okay, that was actually Rhonda. That was the fastest. Boom, boom. You like practiced it. All right, 12. 5 plus 5 plus 2. Good. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little overview. So yeah, again, if you haven't done so, we are going to be using Soundtrap. If you have logged in with your EDU, but if not, we have created some demo accounts for you. So you could pick any number between 1 and 50. Oh wait, I want to take a picture. I'm going to take an actual picture with my phone because you're right there. I want to see all the people. And there we go. Okay. 3:30 in the morning. All right. So any number 1 through 50 at musicednet.com, and the password is password 123. Those are some demo accounts. But here's what we're going to do today. We're going to do introductions. That's now, and then we'll talk about the problems we experience, which is going to be really soon. We're going to go through the classroom resources for Elements, and we're going to talk about how this is going to help address some of those problems that you experience. And then we're going to go through the studio pages. We're going to do a little bit of writing ourselves, and we'll go through some teacher resources, and then we'll do questions, and of course, prizes, those really cool IK Multimedia prizes. So those problems that we experience, I experience those too. You know, students only doing that baseline level of work, like they're in the room with you, they want to get the grade, they want to tick the box of, you know, whatever the assignment is, but they only do that baseline level. And how do we get them to have more intrinsic motivation to dive deeper and to really make connections with the music that they like, to create something that they feel good about? And I feel like, you know, some students come in with an innate ability, but if we can light the students up and make them feel comfortable in the classroom and make them feel like they want to create and dive deeper, then it doesn't matter how much musical ability or music experience they have coming into your class. If they're ready for that, I feel like that is the biggest predicator to being successful in music production. Hopefully, through the stuff that we're going to show you with Elements today, you're going to find how you can kind of flip the script and be more of a facilitator of that student creativity using some of these resources. And yeah, and then we'll give you the 1-month trial so you can try it all, use some of it in the classroom, see if that works. And yeah, I'm going to just kind of get in here and show you a little bit about Elements. So,
and as you're doing that, guys, or as Bob is sharing, just keep in mind, if you guys have any questions, you know, I'll be looking at the chat the entire time, so feel free to just type in there. Super interactive. We're here to help.
Okay, so I am going to show you first. There we go. This is the student portal for Elements. And Eric is a DJ. There is Eric DJing, and we see Eric with his DJ setup. So what we do is we start really big picture. We start macro. And what this does is it helps students think about music and its purpose, its objective with the audience. So we're thinking about how to change energy, how to change emotion, and then how to select different sounds over time. I feel a lot of times with music production, we're thinking in just these small chunks, and we're not thinking about arrangement until maybe later. Maybe arrangement is one of the final projects that we do, but we talk about arrangement right at the beginning. But even more importantly, we start out with this thing called Lesson Zero, and this is all about work habits, except we have put it in this framing of being a producer. So a producer is a good musician. It is they are an engineer. They have to solve their own technical problems. They're collaborators. They work good in groups. They're teachers. They have to teach themselves and others, and they are creators. So each one of these, if this is in our classroom-facing pages here, this is a classroom-facing page. There's a video at the top here which gives an overview of the subject, and then if you click on any of these, it talks about the specific step or the specific role in this case. And I talk about this stuff all of the time in class. Like, we're rounding week 10 of our semester right now, and we're talking about all of this because it is so important for students to be reflecting, metacognating about their process, how they're thinking about their work related to themselves, but also each other. So we start off with the roles of a producer, and then we're thinking like a DJ and thinking about the music. And then we're using loops, loop-based production. Who uses loop-based production? So this would be just dragging and dropping loops over. Loop-based production is a great way to get students to feel really good about their music because it's easy to get music out there, and it's also a great way to work on arrangement because you have those blocks of sound that are already done. And in this one, we're thinking about the music as kind of food, and they have to follow a specific recipe to create an EDM track. And then we get into drums, and here they're building their own drum parts using a sequencer. And then they're learning how to arrange different energy levels of drum parts by, bringing in more hi-hats or just isolating different instruments. And then we go to chords and bass. Has anybody used the Soundtrap chord trigger feature before? This is how we go about writing in chords. We're not using MIDI keyboards at all. This is all non-performance based. When you start adding in performance-based production, you really limit the amount of students that can really get in and authentically create. So we're using the non-performance-based features, and then we add in bass line. We learn how to vary those things, and then we get into melody. So students first learn how to write a melody. I think writing a melody and getting students to write impactful, purposeful melodies is one of the hardest things about teaching music production. Does anybody have good strategies for writing melodies? You can give me thumbs up if you have something really good where you know that all students are going to write a good melody, or you can be like this, or it's hard. Yeah, it's really hard. So we have a method where we're using the piano roll, and we're kind of copying how you learn language. So we start with just being able to copy something that someone's already created and then doing a little bit of tweaking. And then students work on making their own melodies that are singable in the key that fit and are catchy. And then we get into different types of melodies. And then finally, we rearrange. We think about this as like a sculpture, and we are getting more into the detail. And we're at the end of Unit 5. They're building a full EDM track with lots of detail, lots of variation, and it's a full song that sounds like it could be on the radio. But one of the really cool things about the course is we have these real-world projects, which are interspersed throughout the curriculum sequence that introduce different topics. So when I was in high school, if you asked me what you wanted to be, or any student what they wanted to be, they probably wanted to be like a professional sports player. Like, I wanted to be a basketball player. But now students say they want to be video game designers. So this project is a real-world application of what the students are learning in class, and they're actually applying them to write their own music, create their own action sounds, and make their own background sounds to fit one of these three different video game scenes, whether it's a Cave of Wonders, or they are battling, or they're roaming the countryside. They load in their music, and then they change the sounds here. And we like to get students career ready, and there are these 4 projects here that help them get career ready. And just do a really quick show.
Actually,
of some of the
before you, if you wouldn't mind, I wanted to say a little something about just really quick about the thinking like a DJ, and also the way that we incorporate spiral learning into the curriculum. You can keep it shared if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, I'll keep it shared. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, yeah, but thinking like a DJ. Let's see, I can't really see the people. 1 second. Okay, now I can see you guys. Raise your hand if you've ever worked with your students and they're like, they don't know what to make. Like they have no idea what to do in terms of what direction to go. Yeah, it happens to all of us, right? So when we're talking about thinking like a DJ, one really important thing that I learned as a DJ is what music does is it affects the listener in an emotional way, hopefully. And then you're hopefully doing that, choosing songs with intention when you're thinking like a DJ. But in order to do that, you have to understand what the song does to the listener. You know what I mean? What is this one song? It's like a big Lego block. What is this going to do? And then you put another Lego block with it. That's like a mix. And then it's like jumbo Lego blocks put together would be like a mix of songs that a DJ puts together. But when you understand what those blocks do, or what those different pieces of those songs do to the listener, it's a lot easier to make the music that you want to make. And the other thing I want to say about that is it's something we call referencing in music production. And that's where you listen to a song and you intentionally either try to recreate parts of it or to recreate it possibly entirely. But the idea isn't to copy. The idea is to be able to use your ears and listen. What are you listening? What are you hearing? Or what are you listening to? What are you hearing? And you'd be amazed at what some kids at very young ages. I work with some kids that are 9 years old. Okay, even younger than this curriculum is. I'm talking about with my mixed major school, and it's amazing to see what you'll be like a 10-year-old able to hear like a hi-hat rhythm and pick that out of a song. That's a really important skill, not just in music but in life, to be able to reference. The last thing I wanted to say, or Bob, maybe you can talk a little bit about it, is the spiral, the benefits of spiral learning.
Yeah, so spiral learning is a curriculum design concept where after you introduce a topic, maybe you introduce drums once and you introduce it in a specific way. Maybe it's following rules to create a basic pattern. We come back to that a bunch of times throughout the course and reintroduce it in different ways so that students don't just have one methodology of creating that element of music. So the curriculum is called Elements because we have these different elements of music, and we reintroduce those elements in a bunch of different ways. A producer isn't going to make drums one way every time. They're going to think about different ways. And this is one of the bespoke things we have in the curriculum is this player to allow students to interact with those elements. And I'll give you just like a really quick demo here. So if we have students and if they understand what it feels like to just have melody and then to add in chords and what the chords do to a track before they start making, it's going to help them think about putting things together later. And now I'm going to put bass. Bass adds the power, right? And I'm going to grab this filter that we've put in here. Just wait for it. The beat's going to drop. The beat's going to drop. I'm going to press U.
Look at him go.
There
he goes. Let's
All right, so yeah, we give this to students. These are actually sound samples from Soundtrap, but what a great way to experience and we have Kadai and Orff in the general music, elementary music curriculum space, and it's all about the kinesthetic nature of feeling and engaging with the music. We can do that with electronic music too, and we can use the same kind of terms. We could talk about time, we could talk about texture. We can use the same terms that we do here as with a traditional curriculum, and it's just great to be able to engage with that in that way. So that is how our course is structured, and we're going to dive a little deeper into some of the different resources. So first up, we're going to go into this creating drums. This is lesson 2.2, and this is the classroom page. So this is what I like to break down the project sequence into 3 parts. We do our classroom presentation, we have students working individually, and then we do a wrap up. So in this classroom presentation, we watch the top video, and the top video we do together, and this is a YouTube length video that's highly produced, and it's short. They're like 4 minutes or less. And then we have our step videos down here. And when you click on a step video, you will see it's here. This is also short. This one is 30 seconds. But we watch this all as a class, and then in the teacher resources, we have connection activities that go along with these videos where you can make connections with the students to just check for understanding. So again, we're trying to hit that creating intrinsic motivation, but part of that comes from them really having an understanding of it. And sometimes when you're just watching videos in a class and you ask questions to everyone, they're like nod their head like, uh-huh, uh-huh. But then when you ask a question to the individual student, they're like, I don't know. So this is really going to help with their understanding of the content. And then we get into individual work. So Eric, could you pop the link to the first studio page in the chat?
Yep, give me 1 second here.
Okay, so right, if you are logged into Soundtrap right now,
there you go.
If you click on this link in the chat, it will bring you to this page. Can everyone see this page? It should have Soundtrap open in the background. And then you'll have this tiny little circle, this like EME. Does everybody see this circle? And do we have Soundtrap open? If you do not have Soundtrap open, you should log into Soundtrap EDU on a different tab. But what this is, and if you can come back and look at my screen for a second, and I'll give you a little tutorial, and then I'm going to let you guys run with it. So I'm going to just get into Soundtrap. We've all used Soundtrap before. If you haven't, here's Soundtrap. So if you click on the circle, we have this sidebar here. We have added even shorter versions of the videos onto a layer on top of Soundtrap. So instead of students going back and going between tabs, all they need to do is click on these.
First, click on the Patterns Beatmaker to add a drum kit.
These are like 10-second videos. These are short versions of videos so that students can stay on tasks, that they can remember the procedural elements of a project. One of the biggest time sucks in the classroom is when students raise their hand and they ask questions about things that you've already talked about. I'm sure you've experienced that. Be like, we just talked about that. This is actually one of the reasons why 10 years ago I created my website, is I wanted to host videos so that I can help those students just remember these things. But this is going to be a really, really, really quick way for students to engage and just remember the different steps. So if we're all on this page, if everyone's on this page, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of throw it to you. You're going to have 4 minutes to watch the first 5 steps, and you are going to create a drum pattern using the Patterns Beatmaker, using the first 5 steps of this page. Again, to get on there, you click on the EME little circle here, and then you can just click on any of these links, and it'll open it up. The link to this page is in the chat, and we're going to give you 4 minutes. So let me get my timer going. We have 4 minutes here.
And just if we could, before we start, if you guys could find the little the react button, where you can do a thumbs up digitally on your, because I know a lot of people have their cameras off. If you wouldn't mind just putting a thumbs up real quick, just to let us know that you're trying this out, and that way we have an idea. Especially for those with their cameras off. Thank you, Julia. Thank you. All right, Kai, Rhonda, Patrick,
it was fun
Dylan,
to watch.
Andrew. Okay. Cool. This gives us an idea. Lindsay is in there as well. Awesome, Mark. Great. And again, any questions? And then there's the link in the chat. Go for it, Bob. Just wanted to make sure.
All right. So I'm going to put on our 4-minute timer, and you guys are going to go through those steps. Here we go.
Hey, Bob, I'm going to open up a breakout room, and I'll pull Lindsay in there to help her out. And if anybody else wants to go in that breakout room, you can. Oh, let me make you guys co-host too. Hold on. Co-host. Where's Kai? Kai can be a co-host too. Just in case. Where's Warwick? I don't think Warwick's here. Cool. I'll be right back. Hey, Lindsay, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with me real quick. Okay. Manually. Lindsay. Okay, there you are. All right, Lindsay, join me over there if you don't mind.
If you already are done, you'll see I am blocked from getting into Soundtrap. Error message comes up. Okay. What is the error message?
Could be because I'm on a work laptop and it's just the page is blocked saying new block origin has prevented.
If you are done and you click unlock, you can use the code 88TG, and you'll see that this unlocks extra stuff. We can go over that in a little bit. 88TG, I'll write that in the chat. How dare I think that everyone can just memorize that. We have about 30 seconds left to make your groove. And if you click unlock, you can type in 88TG, 88TG. We have gated enrichment content for every lesson. So you have the students that finish early. You want to make sure they actually finish and put their best effort in so you can check it, and then you can give them that password that'll help them get to some extra depth for them. Okay, that is the time. We can come back. So let's just do, if anybody has a quick reaction to, if you wanted to share how that worked for you, if you're imagining yourself as a student. I'm assuming that some of you probably have already created grooves with a sequencer. Rhonda says it's nice and easy. And Mark said the videos work perfectly on my mobile. Thumbs up, very handy. I started if you want to just type it in the chat, just your reactions of using those videos, those sidebar video. It would, it'd probably definitely take longer for a student, Julia. There was a music technology club for my daughter, and she was in year 2, and it was year 2 through 5. So they're pretty young, and I came in with a whole lesson, and I had videos, and they couldn't go from a tab to the video, and it was just absolute chaos. So designing this solution that can help a person in grade 2, I found that when I was working with grade 12 students, they also benefited from it. And it was just amazing that just the universal design of making those fixes. So yeah, if you didn't see, if you go into the enrichment, and I'll show that in a second. If you go into the enrichment of a page, click on enrichment, unlock. The password is 88TG88TG for this one. You see that it added in this extra halftime beat. Sometimes it's an extra video step. Sometimes in this case, if I click it, it's a whole other lesson. So students can go in and they can learn about creating halftime beats. It's just another way to, differentiate the room, to make sure the ed psych term is the zone of proximal development, to make sure that all students aren't underwhelmed or overwhelmed. You want them to be like whelmed. You want it to be challenging but fun. So having that enrichment in there really helps. Now I wanted to show how the chord triggers change the game, and then you guys are going to be able to mess around with the chord triggers. So if I go to keys, in the past I would either need to write in chords with the piano roll, which is easy enough. You can teach students how to write in chords, or you would have them use a MIDI keyboard. I'm holding a MIDI keyboard, but I'm sharing my screen, so you might not be able to see my MIDI keyboard. How to play chords. There's definitely a benefit to being able to manipulate the piano roll and have intentionality when using the piano roll. There's definitely a benefit too to being able to use a musical instrument in real time. But Soundtrap kind of took a little bit of Ableton and created these triggers. So you can change the different sound palettes here. Let's go. You can play these different chords as if it was like an accordion. And the benefit here is that students don't need to have any experience to be able to play an A minor 7 and 11 chord. And they're just really cool. So now that you have your drum groove, if you can make sure that it is 4 measures long, what I want you to do is we're going to do a little experiment here. You're going to do number 6, 7, 8, and 9 on this, and you're going to be adding in chord part. And then we'll do a little bit of share. We'll have one or two people share what they wrote if we have enough time. You can also change the sound. So if you don't feel comfortable just having the piano sound, you can always change your sound by going into the instrument. But that's what we are going to do now. So we're doing steps 6, 7, 8, and 9. And again, 4 minutes. We might not do the entire 4-minute, but here we go. We have our 4-minute timer up. And I might end it a little early, and I want you to do the next few steps and add in chords using the chord triggers. Again, if you're having any trouble or if you wanted to chat in the chat, we are on the chat. Whelmed.
I've never heard anybody say that before. Whelmed. That's great. Okay, we should be quiet now.
Okay. Shh. probably just going to end this at a minute. Constraint-based creativity. It's a fun thing to use with your students. Set a timer. Break things into really small chunks. Get rid of the editorial voice. Or actually, we're going to end this in 20 seconds. All right, and ding. Okay, so hopefully we have, I'm gonna just stop that. Hopefully you were able to write the chords in there. If you wanted to write in the chat, just general reflections about using the chords, creating a cool pattern. Maybe you already use this in class, but I found that this is a great way to add intentionality to student compositions without needing to add in the performative nature of using a MIDI keyboard. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think that's an amazing thing to do, to have students and to give students. But now, if Eric can send in the next link, which is right there.
There it is.
There is that link. So if we click that link, which I will click, it's going to bring up this. And I'll show
Again,
this
there's a link
really
in the
quick.
chat, guys. Link in the
link
chat
in the
if you want to
chat.
click on that, and that'll take you where Bob is now.
Yeah, we're here. And this is just a, we can listen to it. This is a 8-measure loop. And notice that I turned on the cycle mode. I'll just press play here. We got drums, bass, chords, but no melody. And we were talking about melody being one of the more difficult things to write. So what's really cool about using a DAW is your ability to to songwrite with a DAW, and songwriting is one of our real-world application projects. So in order to make a melody, we want our melodies to be singable, right? So one of the first ways that I have students make melodies is to actually have them come up with their own and to sing melodies. Now, you have to normalize failure in the classroom, and you have to create a culture of vulnerability to do that, and that takes a lot of time. And we have a lot of training resources in the teacher section, which I could show you later on how to do that. But we are going to try that. We are going to try writing our own melody. But in the chat, what I want you to do is I want you to write down just a random topic that a song could be about based on your last day of teaching. So think about your last day of teaching. If there was a struggle you had, there was something funny that happened, I want you to write down in the chat something that could be a topic of a song. What could be a topic of a song? Oh, it rained for you. I like rain. It's raining right now. Type down in the chat just a topic. Oh, we got, okay, let's just do rain. Rain sounds good. Endings. Ooh, rain and ending. Maybe we can put them together. All right, so now I'm going to give you just a really quick, just some tips for writing a chorus. And then I'm going to write a chorus, and it's going to be about rain and maybe a little bit about endings. And now I'm going to throw it back to everyone here, and you're going to write a chorus about rain and endings, and then maybe we'll have some people share it out. So the tip is you want to think as simple as possible and to use so much repetition that people are going to remember what your melody is and what you're saying, your lyrics. I don't give students a lot of structure in regards to lyric writing in the beginning. I give them one thing. I say that you know what sounds good. Listen back to what you have written, say it or sing it along with the track. And if it sounds good, it is good. It doesn't have to have like an AABA structure. We talk about that, but you have the best tool here for what sounds good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to press play. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Thinking about rain, and I'm thinking about repetition. Drip, 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 drip. The rain is falling down. Oh, an ending, and it's okay. Da 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 da. The rain is falling down on this Wednesday. Drip, 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 drip. Leave some space. The rain is falling down on my Wednesday. Drip, 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 drip. We leave some space. The rain is falling down on my Wednesday. Drip, 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 and leave some space. The rain is falling down on this Wednesday. Simple, right? And could you sing it in your head? Hopefully. I don't know, my beautiful melody, my Grammy award-winning melody.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Again, really, really, really simple, really basic. Now, if you click on that link that Eric shared, you'll have this stem, and I want you to turn on cycle mode, so you can do that by clicking on that. The loop braces are already set, and you're going to create a melody. You have 4 minutes again, and if you don't feel comfortable like with us seeing your I'm creating face, you can turn off your cameras. It's okay. I get it. Turn off your cameras. You can get out paper. You can write stuff down. You're going to have 4 minutes to write your own song about rain or about endings or about rain with endings or whatever. And just experiment, and it's okay to fail. It's not going to be the best. And that's an important thing to bring out to your students too. Like the first thing you're going to do might not be the best thing you're going to do. So you have 4 minutes here, and I want you to write a song along to that stem. Pop it in the chat if you're having trouble with the stem. And you can totally turn your cameras off if you don't want everyone to see your working face.
I tell Bob to turn his camera off all the time because I don't want to see his working face. Just kidding.
Melody with words. Yeah, melody with words. Don't worry about the piano. Like, you sing the melody to make your melody singable. And if you've never done it, you have 3 minutes. Experiment. We got 2.5 minutes. You can start by humming a melody. You can start with just some words. You can say the words on top of it. You can have an incomplete phrase, repeat it, try to fill in some other words. You're halfway through, got 2 minutes left. Got 1.5 minutes. Whatever you're writing is the best thing to write at this moment. Roll with it. We got 30 seconds, 30 seconds. $20. Solidify that idea. Three, two, one. Okay. All right. So, if you can turn your cameras back on, does anybody want to volunteer to share what they made? Just need one person to volunteer their creation. Anybody want to volunteer? And you can just raise your hand. You can raise your digital hand. All right, Julia.
Julia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might regret this.
No, you're not.
No regret.
I will.
So if you can share your screen, make sure you're sharing your sound. So go to share screen, make sure you click on share your sound. We'll be able to see your Soundtrap. We'll be able to hear your Soundtrap, and then you could sing your words on top of what we're all hearing there. I'm so excited.
I'm not.
I'm so excited. Like,
I've recorded the vocal part, but I think it's just a bit quiet compared to everything else. But
Okay.
shall I just try playing it all and see if it?
you could do that, or if you want to, you can mute that track and you can sing it live, whichever you feel comfortable with.
Okay, I'll try it as is at the moment.
Okay, all right.
That's my vocal part. It's a bit
perfect.
quiet.
Yeah.
There
That's
you go.
awesome.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was so
Is
good.
there anybody else wanna? Maybe we have time for like
job.
one more share out. Lindsay, or no, that was Mark. Mark, you want to do it? I saw what was cool is when I saw Mark's laptop bumping up and down. So I was like, Mark was getting into it, and that's like the kind of stuff that we want our students to do. Like, hey, All right, Mark.
That was awesome, Julia, by the way.
I can't really do it because I'm actually using it on my phone, so I was not really able to do that.
Okay. Do you want to, if you want to just, you could do like a cappella performance of your words if you want.
I actually just went with the melody on, actually on the string part.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I can share this on my phone via the phone because I don't think it's going to work. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're able to do it, and I was definitely seeing the fun there. So yeah, I mean, if we want students to engage, if we want them to not just be in the room, but if we want them to like be a part of the process and be involved in the process, and not just be just like this like a mile wide and 1 inch deep. If we want them to really dig deep, having those experiences where they're putting themselves out there, where they're feeling a little bit of discomfort, but then they get that huge amount of like joy from making something that they feel proud of, like then they're going to totally be in it for the win. So now we're going to transition to sharing some of the teacher resources that we have to kind of help along the way with the course here for Elements. So I will share my screen again. So this is all the student-facing material, but if we go to the teacher portal for Elements, first of all, we have here's our teacher portal. We have a startup checklist. So these are the things that you should do kind of in the order to make sure you're ready to facilitate this course. And then we have our Elements Educator Essentials course, which you can, this is a free course. It kind of goes through the 5 steps of becoming a facilitator of creativity. Instead of being the director of the classroom, you're trying to get students to do what Mark was doing and do what Julie was doing and doing what we were all doing there, where we're all just like in our own creative space. And then your job as a facilitator is then to help them out along the way, to put them into groups, to allow them to metacognate, reflect, to give and get feedback in a positive way. And this is a great way to do that here. And then also as part of our resources, we have a bunch of different guides here. So troubleshooting guides for you as a teacher. Everyone has different like course lengths and frequencies that they see students. So we have different implementation, like suggested implementations. So if you want to just do like half a semester, just like one, like maybe 8-week, you can do these lessons. Maybe this is an even shorter one, or you can do the basics, standard implementation. This is like a full year with all these real world application projects. And then for all these, there's a video there as well. We have some tutorials, just how to work in our curriculum with your LMS. But let's look at a lesson plan here. So I'm just going to pull up a lesson plan from the lesson that we did, 2.2. So here's the lesson plan page. There's a video of me going through these different topics, and you can click on, common errors. You can click on that, and then you can go right to the common errors. So they're all chaptered out. And it's just me talking to you. Oh, nice shirt, Bob. It's me talking to you just like teacher to teacher. This is what I have seen. It's a good look. Gray.
It's a good shirt,
you can't go wrong
with
with gray.
Shirt.
Yeah, thanks.
It's fine. I wear the same shirt all the time.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the same clothes from before. You saw me. So, seriously.
It's the things that you can't, just like from teaching the class a lot, the things that I've noticed as a teacher, just best case practices. And then we have just a standard lesson plan here, but my favorite part are the connection activities. These are things that you can do, like when you're first introducing a sequencer. This is called sequencer battleship. So you have two students with their devices facing themselves so they can't see, and then you can have them draw little shapes, and they can guess which beats and which instruments, and they can try to sink the battleship. But what they're doing is they're having fun, and they're really learning how a sequencer works outside of a musical context. So we have lots of different activities that you can do. And then in addition to the enrichment that's in every page, we have more enrichment that is written in the lesson plan, and we have remediation that's also written there. New for this year is these producer note pages, which we are currently working on, but I can give you a preview. You are the first people ever to see our producer notes right now. I'm going to show you producer notes. And here's our producer notes page. We have, there we go. So this is what you do before a project, our pre-production stage, and then we have our post-production stage. So a lot of reflections, a lot of callbacks to what it means to be a producer. We have the engineer, the teacher, we have the creator. So these are all of the teacher resources that we have. We also offer a summer professional development, free summer PD, and we can share the link to that page if you are interested in doing one of our free 2-week cohorts. We are going to do the giveaways because giveaways are cool. But before that, does anybody have any questions about the curriculum, about our sequence, about the materials here, before we go to the giveaways? You could type them in the chat. You can just shout out.
Hey.
One thing I want to point out. Oh,
sorry.
It's okay.
I was just wondering how long, like if you did everything in the course, is it a semester long, or is it, just how many weeks or how many hours of lessons is it?
So you can, and I have done this at my school for a full year, but in the implementation guide, it gives suggestions on how you can pair that from a full year, which would be like 36 weeks of seeing students every day, all the way down to 8 weeks of seeing students like every other day. So it's really flexible in that regard. It's also flexible in regard to the age that you use. So you can use this all the way from grade 4 to grade 12.
Right.
And then you can, change how you approach each lesson, and all that is outlined in our implementation guide, our sequencing guide, and in the lesson plans themselves.
Great. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Burning questions that you guys have for us? Thanks for that feedback there, Delwyn. Awesome. So here's what we're going to do. You guys like prizes? I like prizes. We're going to do some prizes, okay? Because you guys stayed till the end. And yeah, I'm going to I'm going to share my screen. This is going to be fun. So oh, that's not it. It's actually well, before we get into the prizes, let's first show what the prizes are. Let's close this guy out there. So this is one of them. We're gonna be giving away three prizes actually. The first prize, well, actually this will be the first prize over here. This is the iRig Stream mic, USB microphone. The second one here would be an iRig Pro. This is really, really cool. This allows you to be able to kind of record. For like what do you use this for, Bob? I know it's like a sound card, right?
It's an audio interface, so you can plug in a microphone or a guitar, and it works with every kind of device.
Awesome. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give away these two things first, and then the final one will be like the grand prize, which is gonna be a site license for your school. And for how long is that, sir? Is that the entire year? That's the entire
for the year.
Oh my God, that is a huge value. So it's going to be awesome. Let's do the first one. I took the liberty of I found this thing. This is really cool. Let me know if your name is not on here. I'm pretty sure I got everybody that's in here. There's also a second Patrick that didn't sign up, but it's fine. I'm calling you Patrick number 2, which is totally cool because there's also a Patrick. I think I counted correctly. Basically, if you're not here and the thing lands on you, then you don't win. We'll just spin again. But anyway, I think everybody should be here unless anybody dropped off. I think I got everybody. So we're going to spin this. You guys ready? All right, here we go. Hold on. Where's the thing? Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go, guys. We're gonna go. All right, let's get some music going. There we go. Let's spin the wheel. It's very exciting. Oh my gosh. Is it gonna get to Joanne? Oh my God. Joanne is the winner. Is Joanne here? Oh wait, did she leave? Joanne, you are here. Joanne, you have won. What is this theme? Anyway, you have won. You have won the what was our first prize? It's right over here.
The microphone.
You won the iRig mic, Stream mic USB. Congratulations, Joanne. If we want to write that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Congratulations. All right. We're going to do this other giveaway here. Let's do it. All right. Same thing. One more, 2 more spins. Okay. Here we go. Let's do it. All right, Hala, are you here? There it is. You've won. If you are there, you got to give us some sort of, I don't know. Are you there?
Yes, he is.
See. Oh, no. Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. You there? Great. Congratulations. You have won.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. Congratulations. Well, you've won this awesome iRig Pro. Now, this last one, I don't have a screenshot for. Oh, do we have a link to the site for Kai? And can I put that on here? The link to the music, is that live? Because that would be a nice background. I forgot. Put that in the chat if you don't mind. And this last one here is going to be for where's my chat? Hold on. Here it is. Good. Thank you, sir. Awesome. Yeah. Well, we're just going to spin the wheel. And this last one, guys, grand prize.
Site license.
Right, let's go. Site license. It's very exciting. Lindsay's very excited. Caitlin looks like she's the winner. Wow. Is Caitlin here? Yes, she is. Caitlin, wow, you get the you get the site license. Are you there? Give us a little response. Oh yeah, here we go. This is awesome. Look at this. Great. Hopefully, yeah, there you go. Awesome. Congratulations, Caitlin. I think that's gonna be it for us, guys. I'm gonna hand this back. Thank you guys very. Bob, do you want to have any parting words before we?
Yeah, we had one question, and it was about how students log on. Each school is given one username for their students. We just track how many times that username is being used at the same time. And it's a generic username. It's like student at whatever the domain of your school is. And then, so students don't need to have any, personal data that is saved. So most of the time, when I say most of the time, we have never had any IT administrators request a student data privacy agreement. So it's really easy to get through if you have a DPA data privacy agreement with Soundtrap already. Elements, you don't usually need to have a DPA. So it should be easy to get through whatever the regulations that you have for your region. It looks like EdQLD, strict review process. So it should be, if you follow that form, we don't use any student data privacy. Hopefully that helps. But
I have a question there. What's the pricing like from Annie?
Maybe we can just, maybe this would be a good opportunity to send it back to Kai, if Kai wants to talk.
Sure.
Good call.
So the pricing we're doing is really special pricing, unique in Australia, at $15 a seat. There's a 50-seat minimum, so it sort of aligns with Soundtrap in terms of the minimum. So you're $15 Australian per seat, $16.50 in New Zealand if we've got any New Zealand teachers here tonight. So which is a really unique and special deal, and an introductory offer for the Australian schools, and it's much appreciated, guys, to do that for Australian schools. And the pricing is on the website. I did get a couple inquiries today after our EdNote went out, so I might make the pricing a little more obvious. But you'll find the details on the site there. Look, I want to do a big shout out to Eric and Bob. That was a fantastic presentation. It really is an awesome program. I've got a new song about rain, which I'm going to keep working on after we finish up.
Drip, drip.
But yeah. really informative, very entertaining, and congratulations to everyone who's left with a prize. Everyone will get a free month trial, and we'll send some information out following the webinar this week, so you can all access that. So thanks to everyone for coming along. You saw the link that I put in the chat there. So you'll find information all about Elements on our Music EdNet website. If you haven't got that link after we finish up here, just go to our musicednet.com and the software page, and you'll find a big link there to Elements. And there's also a link to the PD, the summer PD sessions that Bob talked about before as well. So you can hook into the community there and find, a lot of PD opportunities through Bob and Eric. Thanks again to everyone. Please take care, and don't forget to check out details about our daytime conference. It's coming up in May. We'd love to see you there in person in Auckland or in Adelaide. Just check out daytime.com for more details. So cheers, everyone. Thank you, and good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night. Good day.